rowing in the bow pair of a boat, and it does work. And they are off. Women's Division 2 is underway. A little bit of a scrappy start there from Balliol, it looked like, at the top of the division.
Yeah, it did a little bit. Trinity coming straight up there, flying start up there, looking to bump Magdalen as soon as possible. I said they've been on the rise all week, so we're looking to secure their third bump of the week. And I think we'll be able to see a very early bump here.
That looks like it's overlap already. I mean, Magdalen are right out in the middle of the river, but Trinity are flying here. That's definitely overlap already. Magdalen really should be conceding now. There we go. I think I just saw the hand go up. So Trinity now going to try and get out of the way. And that's looking close between Somerville and St Anne's, as we thought it might. Further back, it looks like St John's are beginning to be closed on by Brasenose. Can Brasenose break them? They didn't manage it yesterday, but can they do it today?
St Cat's there right at the back, not quite making up that distance, with Brasenose clearly tired from their previous outings, but I think we could be seeing Brasenose just coming up on St John's there.
We might well be. We see Trinity clearing out, and it is now very close between St Anne's and Somerville, about a canvas of clear water there. St Anne's are not going to last too much longer here, I don't think.
No, I imagine Somerville are just about to set the bump there.
Just as There's still no hand going up. There's still no hand going up. They're trying to hold on. Somerville are sitting a little bit wide and getting a little bit scrappy now. And Anne's might have just pulled another foot away from them.
Yeah, very, very wide line there from Somerville there. Interesting steering. But as we come back a couple, I think Brasenose is still closing down on St John's, but not quite able to break them at this point.
No, and we can see Lincoln have closed a little bit on Lady Margaret Hall, but not a lot. As St John's come into the picture, let's see where Brasenose are. And they are about a length of clear water behind, maybe just under a length of clear water. So they have closed off the start, but I guess the real question will be, can St John's walk away as they come out of the gut and start to make their way up the green bank? And St Anne's still appear to be holding off Somerville. That is a surprise. They got very, very close, but it hasn't happened. Now, will them putting the rudder on slow them down enough? See, if Somerville had cut that corner a little bit tighter, they might have been able to catch St Anne's out, but I don't think it's going to happen. What the Somerville crew don't want to do now is fall into the trap of chasing St Anne's all over the river. They want to just keep to their line, stick it as straight as they can, and just go faster. If they keep steering, they're going to slow themselves down and they won't catch St Anne's. And we can actually see the gap appears to be widening now. There was definitely less clear water than that before.
Brasenose still look to be closing on St John's. Got to be careful on the steering around this corner. You don't want to get sucked into that stream. And to be fair to the Brasenose cox, looks like it's taken a fairly
very nice line from Brasenose. Looks like they just brushed the trees, maybe a touch too much, but if they now St Anne's now seems to be walking away a little bit from Somerville. That gap was under a canvas earlier, and it's now about a little over half, maybe 2/3 of a length. So St Anne's may well have survived the attack from Somerville.
Yeah, that would put an end to the Blades campaign for Somerville. After that, I was almost convinced, Elliot Scott, that Somerville were going to take that from St Anne's, but St Anne's clearly had the stamina there in the legs and just put a little bit more distance between themselves and Somerville.
And I think if we switch back to the camera 40, at the top of the division, I think we can see Balliol rowing away from Magdalen, so it doesn't look like Magdalen are going to catch it. So we saw Trinity catch Magdalen. Balliol, it looks like they're going to be able to row over and then race again at the bottom of Women's Division 1, see if they can get Jesus back for the bump that they suffered yesterday. We see St Anne's crossing noticeably earlier than either of the other two leading crews. Somerville, again, chasing them. And I really don't think it's the right thing for Somerville to be doing. I think they would do far better to stick to their own line and not focus on the crew in front.
Yeah, very, very easy to get drawn into scraps, especially as the crews start to get tired, start to get fatigued, almost into the last 500 metres here. It's getting a little bit desperate. I doubt Somerville are going to close that gap on St Anne's, but they will be trying every stroke of the way to the clacker.
Yeah, I very much doubt it as well. And we see Balliol have pulled quite a distance actually on Magdalen. So Magdalen, distinctly the slower crew out of these two. Balliol actually looking fairly tidy compared to how they started. They looked a little scrappy off the start. They seem to have found their rhythm a little bit and settled into it. Of course, they're going to have to try and hold off Trinity tomorrow. Trinity and Balliol having a fairly long-standing rivalry between the two colleges. They are next door to each other over on the Broad Street, but they are not the best of friends, as we see Magdalen taking quite a wide line up the boathouse. They could definitely be a little bit closer into the boats than that. I know that they're probably trying to not sit in the dirty water coming off Balliol, but they're probably sitting a little bit wide out. And they, as I say that, they take quite a sudden turn in. So I don't think it's going to help them. They've already been bumped by Trinity, and it doesn't look like they're going to get caught by St. Anne's, but definitely a little bit of improvement there on the steering from the Magdalen Cox, I think.
Yeah, I think at this point it's safe to say that St Anne's are safe from an encroaching Somerville. I can't see anything changing there too dramatically.
No, it certainly looks like Somerville went for it off the start and died a little. Have Somerville just crashed into the boats? I think they have. They just caught. Either they caught a crab or they crashed. They clipped that boat, which has slowed them down a little bit. And I don't think it's going to help Lady Margaret Hall at all, but not ideal for them at all. And it's actually looking quite close between Lincoln and St John's. It looks like St John's have managed to close up on Lincoln, which is a little bit of a surprise.
It is indeed, and they look to have dragged Brasenose with them as well. It's a little bit of a three-way race going on here. I doubt we're going to see any bumps just in the last sort of 100 meters or so. But all these crews are trying. Lincoln taking quite a wide line there. I think as we come in.
Yeah, we see St John's, who are we now see Brasenose appearing bottom left of the picture, but St John's taking a slightly wide line. Brasenose definitely have dropped back. So again, another crew that went hard off the start in the hope of getting a bump and have not met. And that looks like a big crab from, I assume that's St Catherine's, just appearing in the bottom left picture. Again, as you said, probably the fatigue starting. Yes, that is St Catherine. So that's the fatigue starting to show, I think. The 3 seats really struggling. In fact, they're not getting it back, which suggests something might be quite badly wrong with that crew. Of course, there's nobody can bump St Catherine's. They're rowing over at the bottom of the division, having rowed over at the head of Division 3 earlier. But there's definitely something wrong with the 3 seat in that boat. So the following launch might just have to go and check that the rower is okay. Hopefully they are.
Yeah, really, really tough there for Cats. They've been in a really difficult position all week. On the one hand, very positive being top of their division, but absolutely heartbreaking not being able to break into Division 2 properly.